Don't forget to like, subscribe, and punch that bell for notifications.
This is an IBF eliminator for the #2 ranking. Thus, it is a scheduled 12-round fight. Daniel Attah trying to earn the second title shot of his career in this very competitive 130-pound division. Michael Ortega is the referee.
Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules. You can go clean fight, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Touch them up, good luck.
Teddy Atlas, these two fighters have a past history. They had extensive sparring sessions against each other. You take a look at Nate Campbell. He claims that he's a much stronger fighter now than when he first met up in the gym with Attah. And he says that in crunch time and in a fight like this, with what's on the line, that the pure puncher with skill will beat the pure boxer.
Well, Campbell, in my estimation, my humble estimation, is a stronger man. That doesn't mean he's going to win the fight. He's a stronger guy, and throughout his career, he's been a pleasing guy, more pleasing maybe to television audiences than Attah. That doesn't mean he's going to be more effective tonight. He's been a guy that likes to walk in, likes to bang. Attah can be the kind of style that can beat his worst nightmare. A boxer, a southpaw, a counterpuncher. A guy who can take advantage of a guy who just likes to walk in, just likes to be strong. Campbell wants to take advantage of being a stronger guy, which I firmly believe he is. He better start early, going downstairs to the body of Attah, trying to take some of that boxing ability away, some of the legs away from Attah.
Already seeing Nate Campbell trying to get a sense of just where he can trap Daniel Attah in the ring. Crafty, slick boxer Attah.
One thing Attah is going to have to overcome is he doesn't have his new trainer in the corner with him tonight. Buddy McGirt is not in the corner. He missed the plane, we're being told. And Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, not a bad fill-in. Former light heavyweight champion of the world is in the corner.
Teddy, interesting because in Buddy McGirt, there's a trainer that Nate Campbell made all the great strides in his career with up until they parted ways this past summer. Now it's been Daniel Attah who has been working with Buddy McGirt for the past few months to get him ready for the fight against Nate Campbell. Does it play a role at all?
Well, it plays a role in the fact that Attah is coming off a knockout loss. You want to try to mentally, 75% of this business is mental. You want to mentally try to get yourself geared up, overcome that knockout loss, feel a little bit more confident. One of the ways you feel more confident is the guy in your corner. Former world champion Buddy McGirt used to be the trainer of the guy you're fighting, Campbell, so it makes you feel a little bit better. He can tell you things about him. He can make everything okay if it gets tough as the night goes on. And it's getting tougher a little bit right there. It's going to be a score to knockdown. But that guy who can help him in the corner, that can tell him the things about Campbell, he's not there. So yes, it can play a big role.
So Michael Ortega rules that a knockdown here in the first round. So a good start to the evening for Nate Campbell. Tries to place the right hand. Looks like he landed cleanly to the body in the final minute of this first round.
One of the intangibles, one of the elements I think you can look for right away here is headbutts. Both these guys clash heads. They have a history of coming in with their heads. Guys like Hopkins, guys like that, they better wait a little bit, let them get a little more seasoning, maybe get tested once or twice before they make that plunge.
We will see Jermaine Taylor, the prize prospect, facing off against Alex Rios in our main event tonight. Teddy alluded to it, that gap between Taylor and the likes of Bernard Hopkins, the middleweight champion of the world. It is wide now, but many feel that it is narrowing, and we'll see if Jermaine Taylor can add to that tonight. Round number 2 here, Nate Campbell off to a big start against Daniel Attah. Second knockdown of the night.
6,
Well, so
7,
far,
8, all right?
strength and power beating boxing, guile, and style. The strength belonging to Campbell, the guile and style supposed to belong to Attah. That knockdown might force Attah to come out of his shell, out of his style a little bit, to lay back and try to take advantage of the other guy's mistakes. Might make him have to press a little bit, which I think would only feed more into the stronger Campbell side.
No knockdown.
Slow there, off balance as he came off the ropes, but you could see the display of power as they exchanged on the inside. A big edge for Nate Campbell.
Campbell might have to be a little thoughtful. And of course, you never wanted to disrupt your work. You want to go about your work and not let other things get in the way, but Campbell has been cut before. He has fallen in with his head before in fights, and he's fighting a guy, as I said in the last round. Both these guys, they've been known to be billy goats. They get in there and they clash heads quite a few times in their past fights.
Both Campbell and Attah with clashes of heads in their most recent fights, both blooding their opponents. Attah claims that it's stylistic for him in terms of him dipping his head in defensive posture, as you just saw moments ago. The only thing that's been connecting with his head so far tonight is the leather coming from Nate Campbell.
I think Campbell would serve himself better being the stronger guy, the bigger puncher, to keep his hands free inside, not put them behind Attah, not get them tied up, where he can really take advantage of his strength and bang when he gets in close. Even though we think of Campbell as a working guy, the more exciting style, the stronger guy, we think of the boxing skills without it, but Campbell's got a long jab, a long reach. And there it is.
Let him out. Instead of back. Last.
Jumps out to a big lead on the scorecards through 2 rounds here for Mohegan Sun.
Time.
Sliding in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see that knockdown in the last round, set up by the jab, and then the right uppercut. The jab got Campbell close. The right uppercut put Attah on the floor.
Round number 3 here. Nate Campbell, Daniel Attah. Both men trying to better position themselves. 12th round junior lightweight bout. It's an eliminator for a number 2 ranking. Nate Campbell, told you about that late start, didn't make his pro debut until he was 27 years old, but he feels that it actually has helped him in a roundabout way. Fresh legs, thinks of himself as being fully developed and physically imposing among the fighters that he runs into in this weight class of 130 pounds.
Attah has lost 2 of his last 3, but against top opposition. And of course, Campbell, last 2 fights, in a draw and a loss, and against southpaws. So a good start for Campbell to shrug off the experiences he's had in his last couple of fights with southpaws.
And a real bitter taste in his mouth. The lone loss in his career coming against Joel Casamayor last January, a fight that many ringside thought that was very, very close. Campbell says he knows he won the fight. He said Casamayor was just a look at each other's face. He was the bigger man at the end of that night.
Let's go. Pass.
Again, I think Campbell can really accelerate good things for himself. The more his good fortune to be would keep his hands free when he gets close and not allow himself to get tied up. He's a stronger guy. Attah wants to be outside, wants to move, wants to use the ring. He's shown that. Campbell should look to keep his hands free, which he's not doing right now. He's putting his hands behind Attah. He needs to bang when he's in close. Success this round. There's a clear reason for it. Campbell stopped using his jab. That long jab has stopped that being used to get in the face of Attah and to keep Attah defensive. Campbell just walks in looking for the big shots. Attah can do that. He can get off first and grab or get out. But when that jab's coming at him, takes away a lot of those options.
As you go, the second time in this round that Attah was able to lunge in with the lead left hand. A much better round after a slow start and being down 2 times in the first 2 rounds for Daniel Attah. Friday night fights from Mohegan Sun. Jermaine Taylor, the unbeaten middleweight prospect and former Olympic medalist, still to come in our main event. This is round number 4 between Nate Campbell and Daniel Attah. You see the punches in round number 3. The 11 landed, the best production for Attah thus far. Got off to a slow start, though. The 2 knockdowns ruled by referee Mike Ortega. Thus the big edge on Teddy Atlas' scorecard early on, 29-26. Nate Campbell.
But Attah, don't miss what happened in the last round and what's continuing this round. He's finding his rhythm.
He is indeed. Facing some good punches. Followed up the combination with a left, right, left there.
He did what he wanted to do. Fell in, grabbed, and then let go and threw some sneaky, quick punches while Campbell is sleeping inside, sleeping at the switch.
Look at this. What a turn of events here in round number 4. As the slick boxer has turned into the aggressive hunter.
So there's spots when Campbell should get off a little bit more. One of them is right now, because look how wide out his feet are. When his feet get really wide, he's telling you, he doesn't mean to, but he's telling you he's not going to move. He's going to be stationary. He's going to be stranded a little bit when his legs get real wide, because you can't move. You got to bring one foot in before you can make a move. And that's a point when his feet are wide where Campbell should really go to work. Right now you can see Attah's going to stand right in front of him. He's not going nowhere. His feet are wide. He's going to make a stand. Campbell should recognize that and know that he's got him in front of him for at least a couple beats, couple seconds. Start to let those hands go. Start planning something offensively. See, now Attah's feet aren't quite as wide, so he can get out of town.
The opportunity existed there, Teddy, what you were describing in the middle of the ring, but Campbell trying to shrug off that opening minute here of round number 4. And Attah came on the offensive. There's a slip there.
This fight's all about styles, and it's that way in this business many times. Attah has this style where he's not as strong as Campbell, but he can counter, he can box, he's a southpaw, he can give you a lot of problems. But he needs to fight that style, and he needs Campbell to cooperate a little bit. The cooperation would be for Campbell just to use his strength, just to look to walk in and just be a tough guy, just a strong guy. Boxers love that. They can take advantage. Their slickness, their finesse usually beat power, because it doesn't give power a chance to set itself. Campbell has really helped Attah, Joe, by not using that jab the last 2 rounds. Just acting like a strong guy, not a smart guy.
Daniel Attah has got himself back into this fight.
We're fighting! Go!
There's a newly inspired Daniel Attah coming off his good effort in the 4th round. Landed 21 of 46 punches against Nate Campbell. 21 of 42 were power shots in that 4th round. Nice comeback by Daniel Attah after Campbell scored 2 knockdowns in the first 2 rounds.
We've talked so much about Campbell being stronger. If you can only use that strength, you get the landscape, the setting that you want. Get close, get a guy in front of you, cooperating, where you can bang on that drum a little bit. If you got a guy like Attah who's not cooperating, you got to do other things to get in position to be the stronger guy. And one of them is use the jab, which Campbell was doing early, Joe, but he stopped doing. He's allowing Attah to have his way, to set the tempo, set the kind of fight he wants it to be. He doesn't have to worry about a jab coming out.
It's the second time. Next time I'm going to take a point for holding. Okay? Okay. Let's go.
Michael Ortega's been a very busy man through just 4 rounds here.
See, watch Campbell. He's got a long jab. We know he's strong and everything, but you got to get to a certain place to use that strength. Before you get to that place, the jab has to be part of that equation. He's not using the jab, so he's allowing Attah to do things. to pick him up coming in and not let him get into position to use the power. Now this is where, again, I said earlier, Campbell must keep his hands free and take advantage of that strength. Go to the body. Do damage when he's in close. Make the most of being in close. He doesn't know how often he's going to get a chance to get close. Body gets his way. He's not going to let him get close too often. Grabbing the body, I think, should be the mainstay of the attack and the concentration of the attack for Campbell. Take those legs away from the elusive Attah. Slow down that head movement. Go downstairs. Boy, Attah's being smart here. Even though he's where Campbell wants to be, he's controlling things. He's punching and he's tying up when he's finished, not letting Campbell do anything back.
Eddie, you would think that with the start that Campbell got off to, that it would play right into his style, but Attah has been able to meet things here and has controlled the action even with the fight being at Campbell's range.
You know what, Joe? If you're a power puncher, the worst thing sometimes that had it happen to me. That's a slip, his leg slip, no punch. Referee right on that.
No, give me the gloves.
The worst thing can happen if you're the power puncher going in there with boxers. You score a couple knockdowns, you think it's going to be an easy night. All you got to do is go out there and win, and you forget about the other tools.
Especially early on, which is what happened tonight. Daniel Attah, Nate Campbell, 6 rounds scheduled for 12. Attah calls this the most important fight of his career. He's coming off a shocking knockout loss to Manuel Bocanegra. That happened this past May in Denver, Colorado. Attah, who you see in the black trunks with silver trim, was leading that fight, easily manhandling Bocanegra. But as the fight went on in the thin air of the Mile High City got to him in Denver, he was knocked out in the 7th round. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas now joined by Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, former light heavyweight champion of the world. And tonight, all of a sudden, in the corner of Daniel Attah, Buddy McGirt's supposed to be there. What happened, Eddie?
Well, Buddy got tied up with some different order of business, mainly Arturo got it, and I understand that Buddy couldn't make it. So, being that Buddy and myself are very close, he gave me a call after what I stepped in for, and I told him no problem.
Eddie, it's Teddy here. Do you think that's part of the reason why your guy got off to a little bit of a slow start? You could understand that. All of a sudden, he's got a different guy in the corner, terrific guy in the corner, but a different guy in the corner, and he's coming off a knockout loss. So could that have had a little to do with the rough beginning?
Well, Teddy, it's like you said, he's a professional. He knows what he has to do. There's no timeouts in his game. There's no tomorrow in his game. He knows what he got to do. And now he's starting to put a little bit of punches together and let his hands go.
Well, he's weathered the storm of the bad start and looks like he's starting to control the rhythm a little bit here.
No doubt, no doubt. We just want to keep pushing Nate Campbell back, keep him on and hit him in the body and hit him in the muscles and keep backing him up with that good jab. That's all he has to do.
Are you a little worried that if you stay in front of Campbell a little bit too much, that maybe Campbell might be able to do the one thing that maybe he does better than your guy,
but
which is
like
bang?
It's like this here. If I keep touching you on the arms, you ain't going to want to lift your arms. And he's touching real good, just with them body shots also. Long as he keeps his arm busy, I'm not even worried about it.
All right.
Eddie, we'll let you get back to work. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, former world champion. And subbing for Buddy McGirt tonight in the corner of Daniel Attah. And he did a good job after that 2nd round, Teddy.
Yeah, well, I think that we should realize that we shouldn't be that shocked that Attah could be in a position, could have been set up to be in a position to have a slow start. His trainer doesn't come. He expects the trainer. He's been working with the new trainer. He doesn't come. And he's fighting a fight 7 months removed from a knockout loss. So it's no surprise that he had a shaky start, but he's overcome that. And as Eddie said, he's shown his professionalism, his toughness, his grit. And now he's controlling his fight, and he's making up a lot of ground for 10-8 rounds early on.
Another strong round here for Daniel Attah.
One thing that I respectably disagree with Eddie is that he's going to be able to stand in front too long with the big punching Campbell. Mix it up a little bit. Time.
Friday night fights from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. big fight crowd on hand. Our main event will feature Jermaine Taylor, Joe Tessitore, and Teddy Atlas with you in what is shaping up to be a great start to the new year of ESPN2's boxing. A good opening bout between Daniel Attah and Nate Campbell. Of course, Nate Campbell, many were so impressed with his effort last year against Joel Casamayor. Daniel Attah, a guy who has had a world title shot, went the distance with Marcelino Freitas. And here in this fight, it was all Campbell early on, but in rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6, Attah has solved them.
It is an interesting fight. There's an intrigue to this fight. You got the stronger Campbell. Comes out, acts like the stronger guy. Bang! Scores 2 knockdowns early. Looks like Attah might be out of business before he even gets a chance to be in business. And all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, 4 fights or 4 rounds in a row, at least on our scorecard, Attah comes back and sweeps. All of a sudden puts the pressure on the other guy, on Campbell. He's falling out of the fight now. And that's what you want to see about boxing. That's the great thing about boxing. You get a portal to look into people to see how they react in tough situations. We're getting a peek at that right now.
Daniel Attah able to fight Campbell's fight to a certain extent.
Yeah, but you see, he's staying in front a little too long. Just got hurt.
Right,
and that's why I was disagreeing a little bit with the terrific trainer, the former light heavyweight champion of the world, Eddie Muhammad. I don't think Attah can roll the dice too many times because you're going to come up trapped or snake eyes sooner or later.
And that right hand from Nate Campbell we saw land moments ago.
1 point.
Very capable.
1 point.
Now here goes
There's
to
a
holding.
foul there for holding. We saw this warning twice before from Michael Ortega in earlier rounds. So mark it down a point deduction against Daniel Attah here in round number 7. That could come back to haunt him. He had 2 10-8 rounds go against him, being dropped twice in the first 2 rounds. So the scorecards are going to be real interesting.
Well, it's from laying in front too long. See, we think, well, the only way we figured that he's paying a price for laying in front too long is if he gets dropped. No, he lost that point for holding because he laid in front too long. Because he got hurt and he had to hold. That's why the point was taken away. Again, I believe Attah has to mix it up a little bit. Can't go pressing against Campbell, who that's his game. He might get away with it for 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Sooner or later, it's going to come back and hit you. I think he needs to mix it up more right now, Attah. He needs to do a little inside and a lot more outside.
Very interesting earlier to hear from Petty Mustafa Muhammad, who has to fill in for Buddy McGirt in the corner of Daniel Attah. Keeps pounding away here on the inside. One of the reasons that Nate Campbell is no longer with Buddy McGirt is because he was dissatisfied with how many fighters McGirt is with, and a situation that occurred tonight for Daniel Attah is what he wanted to avoid. Now 7 rounds just about in the books here for Mohegan Sun.
Right.
Nate Campbell readying himself for round number 8 against Daniel Attah. CompuBox serving up the punches through round number 7. Campbell 115 to 90 edge over Attah. A lot of that work was done early on. In the middle rounds, Attah came on much stronger. Lost a point, though, in that last round, the 7th round, the 3rd time tonight that referee Michael Ortega warned him for holding. So a point deduction in round number 7 goes against Attah.
No matter what you do in this world, you must know who you are, what you are. And I think what happened was Attah forgot for a little while that he's the boxer. He stayed in front a little too long, and it hurt him the last round.
Checked in with the corner of Daniel Attah. Let's head to the corner of Nate Campbell. Well, former middleweight title holder John David Jackson is on headsets with us. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you. What do you see so far?
Well, I see that Nate's establishing his jab. He's not using it enough. The body shots are just working tremendously. He needs to take that left hook and drop it to the body again.
I agree with you, John. Those are the 2 things that I said that Campbell should be concentrating solely on, is to jab, to control the distance, and to set up his power shots and go downstairs, take some of that elusive ability away from Attah.
Teddy, I couldn't agree with you more. If he would just feint a little bit and inches way in, he'd touch him all night long.
Matter of fact, the first 2 rounds you had great success because he was using that long jab.
Yes, yes. He's gotten away from him a little bit. He's got more right hand heavy to the body, trying to get him, use that left hook equally as much.
Do you think it hurt him a little bit having that great success early, scoring the knockdown? He thought, I don't got to listen to my trainer. I'm going to knock this guy out, right?
I hope he doesn't think that. Nate's a very intelligent fighter. I think Daniel kind of changed the game plan a little bit around 3 and 4. That made Nate kind of a little bit leery of what he was doing. I think he heads back on track now.
Yeah, but you're a former world champion. You know how fighters are. They're strong-headed, right?
Sometimes, yes, they are.
And sometimes they think, hey, I had some success. I can do it my way.
Well, that's when the other fighter decides to hit him with a good shot and bring him back to reality every now and then.
Make them start listening to you.
There you go.
Strong left hand there by Daniel Attah. John David Jackson, thank you very much for joining us.
Hey, fellas, thank you very much.
Good luck.
Former middleweight title holder, fought Bernard Hopkins back in 1997. Of course, that was in the midst of Hopkins' now record-breaking and record-setting run of title defenses at 160 pounds. There's a straight left hand that comes in from Daniel Attah.
It was a nice, solid fight. Like to see ebbs and flows. Guess what? We're seeing plenty of ebbs and flows. Lots of them.
Pretty good 8th rounds here.
Sliding in the bottom right-hand corner. Good round for Attah. Why? He went back to counter-punching, make the guy miss. Went with that straight left hand for the southpaw. Followed up with another punch. Good, solid punches by Attah.
Scheduled for 12 rounds. Good junior lightweight matchup. One of these 2 fighters could be in line to have a heck of a year here in 2004. The punches in round number 8. You see Attah landing one more, 24-23. Both men able to pick up the pace here.
You know, we've talked so much about the corner of Attah. About Buddy McGurk, former world champion, not being there tonight. How that could affect Attah. It was about Buddy McGurk having trained Campbell so it could help Attah throughout his camp. That he's getting advice from a guy who is familiar with his opponent. But we haven't said enough maybe about John David Jackson, the former world champion, who's a southpaw. So he can lend his expertise on what southpaws are going to do and what you should do against them for Campbell. Also, one other thing that Campbell has to deal with, he's trying to learn. This is his 3rd training that he's been through. So that can be a little bit of a learning curve, a little bit of a problem for Campbell. He's got a good, smart guy in John David Jackson, had a good, smart trainer with Buddy McGurk, but 2 different guys. He's learning new things. Sometimes that can, of course, help you, but of course, while you're learning on the job, sometimes you can disrupt your rhythm a little bit, cause a little bit of problems, making those adjustments, trying to get familiar and trying to get comfortable with that new style. That's something for people to think about as far as what Campbell has to deal with new trainers in his corner.
This is his first fight since parting ways with Buddy McGurk. He said when John David Jackson first met up with him, he didn't know what to make of it, but he was open and receptive for anything.
No knockdown.
No knockdown.
No knockdown.
Said, I'll try anything. Well, what John David Jackson did, Teddy, is he said, all right, let's put on the gloves. We're going to go in there and spar. He said it was one of the best sparring sessions Nate Campbell did that he's ever had. And for John David Jackson, he was able to really get in there and see what Nate Campbell is missing. Not just be told and not just watch, but actually go in there and experience it. And Campbell gained a lot of confidence right off the bat with Jackson.
That's a unique way, that's a novel way to get your students' attention. And as you said, like a new football coach coming in. You have those Super Bowl rings on your fingers. It's a little easier to get the troops' attention. I think that's why Bill Parcells did a good job with Dallas Cowboys. He had those rings. He had that respect immediately.
Heck of a fight here on Friday Night Fights between Daniel Attah and Nate Campbell from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. Teddy Atlas, some big news this week concerning the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Oh, our man, there he is. Russell Peltz. We're proud to say that he was inducted to the Hall of Fame. We're also proud to say that we have him helping us put on these shows. Russell Peltz, very deserving. He's developed guys and helped develop guys like Benny Briscoe, all those great Philadelphia fighters who used to run the fights at the Philadelphia Spectrum. Willie the Worm Monroe, Matthew Saad Muhammad. And of course, he has good company. Carlos Palomino, Zuma Nelson, the professor, Dwight Muhammad Kwawi, Daniel Zaragoza, terrific southpaw, talking about southpaws. And there's our man, Russell Peltz, Stanley Christodoulou, and the terrific writer, the great writer, W.C. Hines. So, once again, from all of us here at ESPN, I'm sure all the fans out there, congratulations, Russell. We're very proud to have you with us. And thank you for helping us put on a good show every week.
Congratulations to the entire class of 2004. Going to be a great weekend in June in upstate New York as they enter the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Round number 10. Daniel Attah, Nate Campbell. Been an interesting stylistic matchup. Both men willing to trade in the middle of the ring. Short inside work from Campbell. We talk so much about the jab, and when it's on for Campbell, but moments like this right in the middle of the ring, not utilizing the left hand in his range.
And that's what's been getting him in trouble. When Campbell just looks for the power shots, he gets left at the altar. Because the counterpuncher, the slickster, the boxer, Attah, knows what to do. He gets off. He doesn't wait around for those power shots to come.
Nate Campbell's gained a lot of confidence through his career. 21 knockouts and then his 23 wins. Told us when we met with him, when I hit somebody, they stay hit. Early on, it looked like that would be the case here against Daniel Attah. But the tough Nigerian, the former Olympian, has been very game, steadied himself, and controls much of the action during the middle portion of this scheduled 12-rounder.
There's been real changes in this fight. Early on is very simple to see. Campbell comes over, gets control right away, scores 2 knockdowns. Then Attah sweeps about 4 rounds in a row, captures control of the rhythm, gets the tempo on his side. And now all of a sudden Campbell has made some adjustments, gone back with the words of his trainer, John David Jackson, in the corner, pushing him. He's gone back to the jab, going to the body, being small, not just being a walking power guy. He's gotten control now of the rhythm, of the tempo of the fight. And again, as I said earlier, trainers do play a big part. With John David Jackson, a new trainer, maybe it took a few rounds for Campbell after scoring those knockdowns to get convinced to get back to the things that they worked on in the gym. You know, maybe he got a little short-circuited. He scored the knockdowns early, said, just go back to that. Took him a while to get his rhythm, get back to the things he was working on with his new trainer, the former world champ. It's working pretty good now.
Friday night fights from the Mohegan Sun. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you. Brian Kenny and Max Kellerman will get us up to date on all the boxing news and notes of the week. Jermaine Taylor is still to come in our main event. The hot prospect at 160 pounds. Daniel Attah and Nate Campbell. Round number 11 scheduled for 12. Nate Campbell thought that Daniel Attah would have his running shoes on for most of the night. That has not been the case. You see the punches through round number 10. Campbell with the 176 to 139 edge. However, it's been Attah with a 127 to 113 edge in power connects.
You know how to run around the ring, to be tricky, to be smart, to be elusive. Now Whittaker did it for years. Not making out of the great Pernell Whittaker, but Whittaker could stay right in front of you, slip punches, stay in front of stronger guys. That's why he was able to win so many titles at heavier weight classes. Strength didn't matter. He'd stay right in front of you, he'd slip, he'd slide. That time might have stayed a little too long.
A short right hand, Teddy, by Nate Campbell. And for the third time tonight, Daniel Attah is down.
Again, going back to early, when he was standing a little bit too much in front of the stronger Campbell. Every once in a while, he pays a price. He gets away with it sometimes by working so hard, keeping that work rate up so heavy. And he's so game. But every once in a while, you stay there a little too long, you spit that wind a little too many times, it's going to come back and hit you once in a while. He just got hit with it that time.
So Daniel Attah, who went down but wasn't hurt in the first round.
See, if Attah's going to stay in front, he's got to time it. He's got to get his shots off and get out or tie up. He can't stay there too long because two things are going to happen. One, the power of Campbell is going to come through. And two, Campbell's not going to have to worry. He's not going to have to look. He's not going to have to worry about missing shots and leaving himself open. He's not going to be tentative that he throws something on the outside, he misses, he gets counted. He knows on the inside he can shorten his shots up, he can go to work, and he doesn't have to worry about as much coming back at him. So he's going to be more aggressive.
Turning it on here in the final minute of this 11th round. Went down in the first round, was hurt by a right uppercut, went down in the second round, but really shook up here in the 11th round from Nate Campbell.
Watch the legs of Attah.
And now Attah's returning fire and scoring well.
He's a game guy. Watch his legs though. When they get real wide, he has to stay in front. He's got nowhere to go. He gets straddled. He gets stranded with his legs that wide in front. And that's where Campbell can really and has taken advantage of opening up.
What a great 11th round here against these two contending junior lightweights.
Get knocked down because you're already behind. Don't wait to get knocked down to fight back. Jump on him now. Go at him. Lead ahead.
All right, let's take a look at that knockdown in the 11th round, Teddy.
Well, again, Attah, if you look, his legs are real wide. He's standing in front. Campbell's doing the right thing, letting his hands go, going downstairs and then upstairs. First the right hand to the body, then a short right hand upstairs. There, right hand downstairs, numbs him a little bit, stands him up, and then bang, right hand upstairs. Never sees it. Let's see it again from another angle. Right hand downstairs and then the right hand upstairs. Combination punching, smart punching. Downstairs, upstairs, knockdown.
It has been a very interesting fight. Back and forth they have gone. And right now, Nate Campbell, you would assume, has the momentum, but the way Daniel Attah finished up that 11th round, who knows what we are in store for in this 12th and final round. Once again, an IBF #2 ranking on the line. Nate Campbell feels that he knows where he stands among the 130-pounders. Daniel Attah, he's gone the distance with Freitas. Both men now in prime position to determine their fate here in this 12th round. Teddy Atlas's scorecard with the 3 10-8 rounds for Nate Campbell and the point deduction in the 7th round for another 10-8 round. 3 knockdowns in the point deduction, a 105-101 edge for Nate Campbell.
You know, right now, Campbell is showing some of the things, I believe, that he's learned from John David Jackson. He's being a smart guy, not just a strong guy right now. He's keeping his punches short. It's one thing to be strong, but you gotta have a way to use that strength. He's keeping them short, doing some counter punching. He was inviting Attah in a minute ago, using his jab, stepping back. Look at him. He's inviting Attah in, and look at it, counter with right hand.
Places a good, strong right hand.
He's paying attention right now to more than just being a strong guy. He's showing all those young, aspiring fighters out there, Joe. It's not just about being strong, about being big, about being muscular, about being tough. It's about understanding the sweet science. Right now, Campbell understands that science. He's counter-punching. He's throwing smart punches. He's actually luring the counter-puncher Attah into mistakes.
Shaping up to be a strong finish for Nate Campbell. Started strong, looks to end that way.
Right now, Campbell's doing the boxing.
A lot of twists and turns in the middle of this fight.
And lots of heart from Attah, who's been on the floor several times and has never given in. Matter of fact, his heart has gotten him in trouble. He's gotten stubborn and I think stood in front of the stronger Campbell, sometimes a little bit too much. Sometimes got a little bit too carried away with his pride and his heart. Now there's a cut. We were talking about there would be a close ahead sooner or later in this fight. We talked about Attah being cut before. He's cut over the left eye, but late in the fight, it is not going to have any bearing. Not on this bout.
Good stylistic matchup. Produced a very, very interesting result.
Boxing fans, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. Judge Glenn Feldman scores the bout 116 to 108. Judge George Smith scores the bout 117 to 107. And Judge John Lawson scores the bout 116 to 109 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Nate, the Galaxy Warrior Campbell.
So Nate Campbell moves on with the unanimous decision behind his 3 knockdowns tonight against Daniel Attah.